Hey everybody, it's Brad at Dayport Brothers LLC out in Versailles, Ohio. Gonna do another walk around video, followed by an operational video on this 2008 New Holland TT60A tractor that came in and we're putting up for sale. Like always, I'll walk around, I'll talk about the features and functions. I'll get up close to everything, I'll show you anything that I see, talk about anything that I know on this particular tractor. And of course, we'll fire it up, we'll run it through its paces, we'll show you the 3-point and the PTO, let you hear the engine, hit the brakes, show you they're nice and strong. As always, if you are in the market for a used tractor, a used piece of ag equipment, or a used piece of construction equipment, please subscribe to the channel, please like the video. Your likes and subscriptions help other people who are looking for equipment find our videos and find our machines, and we truly do appreciate it. All right, like I said, this one is a 2008 New Holland TT60A. As you can see, it is OROPS with a sunshade, 2-wheel drive, 8 forward and 2 reverse gears, 1 rear remote, pre-emissions, and this one has 833 hours and 56 horsepower at the engine. So like I said, here in a little bit we'll fire it up, we'll let you hear the engine, we'll show you all the functions, but for now I'm just going to kind of get up close to everything. It does have 4 suitcase weights up here in the front. And like I said, for now I'm just going to get up close to everything, show you the condition. It is a pretty doggone nice tractor for an 08 model, so let's get to that. Looking at the front tire on this side, as you can see there, pretty deep tread bars. I'm going to say we're at least 75-80%. I think I'm being very fair there. Nice and deep tread bars there. A little bit of just weather checking starting in there, not much at all. You probably can't even see it on the camera. There's a little bit in there. Sidewall looks pretty decent. There's a little bit of weather checking starting there. Looking at the front rim on this side, I'll try to scoot back a little bit, try not to cast too much of a shadow there. That white paint is pretty darn good for an 08 machine. If you get up close to it, you can see there's just a little bit of surface rust starting right around the outer edge where some of the paint has gotten a little thin or chipped off, but otherwise pretty darn good. No huge dents or dings there. Looking at the hood of the tractor, the blue paint is very bright and reflective. There's some, if you get up close, there's some small little paint chip here. This front has had a couple of little scratches, and this little tiny section right here I think has had a little bit of touch up. You can see a little bit of brush strokes there, a couple little scuffs and scratches, but the rest of the hood looks very much original to me. Very bright blue here, very reflective. Decals look really good. No huge dents or dings there. Looking at the fender on this side, again, nice and straight there, no huge dents or dings. Again, that blue paint's nice and bright. Starting to peel just a little bit. There's a little paint flaking right down here at the bottom where the floorboard and that fender come together. A couple of little light scuffs, little rock chips here and there, but overall for a 2008, very nice tractor, which it should be with only 833 hours. A little bit of a scuff there and a little paint chip there, a little bit of a scratch back here. Otherwise very good. Underneath side of that fender looks really good there. Looking at the rear tire tread depth, I'm going to say we're at least 50%. I think I'm being very fair there. It's probably actually better than that. Again, a little bit of weather checking starting here, nothing I wouldn't expect for the age. Sidewall looks pretty good. And then taking a little step back, the rear rim, a little more of that white paint peeling off back here on the rear rim, but overall it's pretty darn good. No huge dents or dings in that outer edge of that rim. Just some spots these were notorious for, the white paint peeling on the rims on these, and you can see it's got some spots there where it's flaking off. Very common on these. Coming around to the back, 3-point, everything looks good there. Drawbar is fine. 540 PTO, we'll show you that here in a little bit. We'll fire it up, everything works there like it's supposed to. 1 rear remote, like I said. Kind of get up close to everything back here. I'll kind of go slow so you can see everything in the back on this rear end. Everything looks pretty well normal, nothing out of the ordinary here. Looks pretty darn good, really. Inside of that fender over here, everything looks good. Same thing over here, everything looks good here. A couple spots here where that paint's peeling just a little bit, and some scuffs and scratches right here. A little bit of a spot right there where the paint's peeled. Take a look at the rear tire on this side. Matches up pretty well to the other side, tread depth wise. Couple small little spots where there's a little chips out of tread bars here and there. Same thing, just a real little bit of weather checking starting there. Sidewall looks really good, and then taking a step back, looking at the rear rim. Again, this side looks pretty similar to the other side. You can see where that paint's starting to flake off some. Like I said when we were over there, it's very common on these. They were notorious for it, but no huge dents or dings there on that outer edge of that rim. Underneath side of the fender on this side looks really good there. And then looking at the fender itself, no huge dents or dings, nice and straight there. It is starting to, the paint's chipping and peeling just a little bit on this outer edge. You can kind of see there. But otherwise, it is very, very bright blue. Looking at the, see here, you can see how reflective it is there. You can see our shop in the background. Very, very nice. Decals are good again on this side of the hood. Looking at the front tire on this side, matches up really well to the other side. Plenty of life left here in these front tires. And then taking a good look here at this front rim, again, looks pretty darn good. There's some small spots where paint's getting just a little thin, you can see down here, but no huge dings there in that rim. Everything looks really good there. Toolbox looks good. Like I said, 4 suitcase weights up here in the front. That black mesh looks good. Headlights look good here. A couple little small scuffs and scratches here and there. Again, it is still a 08 model tractor. Take a look underneath the hood here. We'll take a look at the engine up front here. John Deere battery. Fins here on the radiator look fine. Get up top here. I'll try to go slow so you can see in here. Obviously pre-emissions being an 08. Underneath side of that hood, everything looks good there. Coming over here to this side of the block, I'll go nice and slow. Very, very clean here, as you would expect. Nice and dry. I don't see any oil or diesel or antifreeze running anywhere here. Just a pretty darn nice tractor. Everything looks good down here. Taking a look at the engine on this side. Again, very clean in here. I don't see any oil or diesel or antifreeze running anywhere. Everything looks really good there. A little bit of dust up here, but nothing out of the ordinary for a tractor there. Still has just a little bit of the black paint, original black paint on the manifold there. Taking a look at the operator station. Everything looks pretty good there with that sunshade. Steps pretty good here on this side. Just some paint starting to chip a little bit in a couple spots here where your boot rubs when you step up onto the platform. Otherwise, that all looks really pretty darn good. Clutch pedal looks really good. These knobs are still nice and tall. Still has a lot of that paint on the clutch pedal there. Looking at the seat. Bottom portion of the seat cushion looks good. I don't see any cuts or tears there. Same thing with the backrest. Everything looks good there. Your high-low levers nice and legible. PTO. Over here, your gear shift lever's really good. Brake pedals look good. Throttle pedal down there looks good. Your hand throttle. Up here, looking at the inside of the fenders. Again, this blue is nice and bright. There's some scuffs and scratches, little small scuffs and scratches here and there. It is a 08 model tractor. A little bit of paint wore off right here, probably about where your arm would rest if you sat over like that. Up here, the dash is very clean, very legible. As you can see there, 833 hours. Up top here, there you can see the top of the hood. Everything looks really good there. That steering wheel looks good. Little small crack in that black plastic right there. I don't know if you guys can see it. Otherwise, very, very nice. All right, like I said, this one's a 2008 New Holland TT60A, 833 hours. Lots of photos on our website. That's listed down below in the description. If you have any questions, comment down below. We'll try to answer them for you. We'll get that hood shut, we'll fire it up and get right into an operational video.